order, please.
Here.
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 Present.
Thank you. If everybody stand for a prayer and the Pledge of Allegiance by Mr. John Barber.
Let's bow our heads. Heavenly Father, we come before you this evening and we thank you for this beautiful day. We thank you for this beautiful city. We thank you for all the things you do for us each and every day. We do pray that you would give wisdom to those who are in charge today and help them to make wise decisions. We do again ask for protection for our public safety people in the fire, police, and electric departments. We thank you again for just the protection you give us each day in Jesus' name. And all God's people said,
Amen.
Amen.
I pledge
Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
So moved.
Motion. Second.
Yes.
Hamilton,
Yes.
Hart,
Yes.
Robinson,
Yes.
Baxter,
Yes.
Harris,
Yes.
Fowler,
Yes.
and Insulaco.
Here. Yes.
Thank you. Communications, would anybody like to pull that one? If not, I'll ask for a motion and a second to accept and file.
Move to accept and file.
Second.
Motion second.
Ross,
Yes.
Hamilton,
Yes.
Hart,
Yes.
Robinson,
Yes.
Baxter,
Yes.
Harris,
Yes.
Fowler,
Yes.
and Insulaco.
Yes.
Unfinished business.
You got it?
R
Please
20,
call. Yeah.
It's Mr.
oh, I'm
Hamilton.
sorry.
It's Mr. Hamilton.
R 2577,
No,
or
76. isn't it?
76.
I'm sorry.
I do not have that one.
It's Mr. Hamilton.
Please call it.
Thank you.
Okay. A resolution authorizing and directing the mayor to implement a 6-month pilot program to provide in-person Spanish language interpretation and simultaneous non-AI Spanish closed captioning for North Little Rock City Council meetings.
Motion to adopt.
Yes, suspend the rules first.
Oh, is it an ordinance?
It's a resolution.
It's a
It's a resolution. I'm sorry,
resolution.
my apologies. It's a resolution. So it's motion to adopt.
Motion to adopt.
And there's a second. Is there a second? The resolution failed for not having a second. Thank you.
R 2577, Mayor Hartwick.
Please.
A resolution amending the
Let me do
2025.
this. Let me go ahead. This is consent agenda. Just go ahead and read both of them, okay? I understand it. Thank you.
A resolution amending the 2025 budget for the city of North Little Rock to include additional expenditures in certain budgets.
Move for adoption. Second.
There's a motion, second.
Ross,
Yes.
Hamilton,
Yes.
Hart, Robinson,
Yes.
Baxter,
Yes.
Harris,
Yes.
Fowler,
Yes.
and Insulaco.
Yes.
Thank you.
R 2578, Mayor Hartwick.
Please.
A resolution amending the 2025 budget for the North Little Rock Electric Department to include additional expenditures.
Move for adoption. Second.
Motion, second.
On the motion, Ross.
Yes.
Hamilton.
Yes.
Hart. Robinson.
Yes.
Baxter.
Yes.
Harris.
Yes.
Fowler.
Yes.
Insulaco.
Yes.
R 2579, Mayor Hartwick.
Please read it.
A resolution declaring certain buildings, houses, and other structures located at 812 West 24th Street in the city of North Little Rock, Arkansas, to constitute a public nuisance and condemning such structures, providing a period of time for property owner to abate said nuisance.
Thank you. With that, I need to convene a public hearing. So let me convene a public hearing. Those are looking at it on the screens. Those wishing to speak for or against R 2579, please come forward. Those wishing to speak for or against, please come forward. Seeing none, I'll adjourn this public hearing.
We have a motion.
Need a motion to adopt.
So moved.
Second.
On the motion, Ross,
Yes.
Hamilton,
Yes.
Hart,
Yes.
Robinson,
Yes.
Baxter,
Yes.
Harris,
Yes.
Fowler,
Yes.
Insulaco.
Yes.
R 2580, Mayor Hartwick.
Please.
A resolution declaring certain buildings, houses, and other structures located at 823 Parker Street in the city of North Little Rock, Arkansas, to constitute a public nuisance and condemning such structures, providing a period of time for property owner to abate said nuisance.
Thank you. Again, I need to convene a public hearing. Those wishing to speak for or against R 2580, please come to the microphone. Identify yourself, please, sir, if you don't mind.
I'm Pastor Wells, House on the Rock, Full Faith Church Ministry.
Yes, sir, go ahead.
Yes, sir, that is our building. At this time, we have decided we're in the process of taking bids to try to get the building demolished at this time.
Okay, so you're wanting to have, so right now, we're declaring the structure of public news, and is condemning it. So you want to do what with it, sir? You want to go ahead and demolish it yourself?
We're taking the bids to get it done. We're going to try to go that route.
Rick?
Honor, there is a period of time in which they can take action to abate the nuisance themselves. This action only declares it a nuisance. They could certainly, will have a period of time working with the code enforcement in which they could take bids to try to demolish the structure on their own, but it'll be a limited period of time, and they'll have to work through the code department.
All right, Ms. Ross?
Isn't that 30 days? Because they have 30 days to appeal to the
That's
Tusky
right.
County
That's
Court.
correct.
You know, you can appeal
That's
to the
correct.
court, so the 30 days you can do anything, but after the 30 days is when it becomes effective.
You understand what we're saying to you, sir?
Somewhat.
Sorry, go ahead, Rick. What we're saying to you is we can go through the process. You still have 30 days to go ahead through the condemnation process, okay?
Okay,
And you need to get in touch with our city attorney's office.
okay.
You got that?
Yes, sir.
So with that, I'm going to go ahead and, you want to say anything else about it?
No, sir, thank you for your time.
No, thank you, sir. Anybody else wishing to speak? This is a public hearing on R-2580. Please come forward. Did you get his name, Taylor?
Yes, sir.
All right, thank you. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Anybody else wishing to speak for or against R-2580? Seeing none, I'll adjourn this public hearing.
Move for adoption.
Motion to adopt.
Second.
There's a second.
On the motion, Ross?
Yes.
Hamilton?
Yes.
Hart?
Yes.
Robinson?
Yes.
Baxter?
Yes.
Harris?
Yes.
Fowler?
Yes.
Insulaco?
Yes.
R-2581, Mayor Hartwick,
Please read it.
declaring certain buildings, houses, and other structures located at 2705 East Washington Avenue in the city of North Little Rock, Arkansas, to constitute a public nuisance and condemning such structures, providing a period of time for property owner to abate said nuisance.
Again, I need to convene a public hearing. Public hearing is now in session, so if those wishing to speak for or against, please come forward. R-2581, speaking for or against. Seeing none, adjourn the public hearing.
Move for adoption.
Second.
Motion second.
On the motion, Ross?
Yes.
Hamilton?
Yes.
Hart? Robinson?
Yes.
Baxter?
Yes.
Harris?
Yes.
Fowler?
Yes.
Insulaco?
Yes.
R-2582, Mayor Hartwick,
Please.
a resolution certifying the amount of a cleanup lien to be filed with the Pulaski County Tax Collector against certain real property located at 225 Sherrill Street in the city of North Little Rock, Arkansas.
Thank you. Again, I need to call a public hearing. Those wishing to speak for or against, I'll convene a public hearing now, R-2582. Please come to the microphone. Seeing none, I'll adjourn this public hearing, please.
Move for adoption.
Second.
On the motion, Ross?
Yes.
Hamilton?
Yes.
Hart?
Yes.
Robinson?
Yes.
Baxter?
Yes.
Harris?
Yes.
Fowler?
Yes.
Insulaco?
Yes.
R-2582, Mayor Hartwick,
Thought we just did that.
83, I apologize.
Go ahead, please.
A resolution certifying the amount of a cleanup lien to be filed with the Pulaski County Tax Collector against certain real property located at 1608 Chandler Street in the city of North Little Rock, Arkansas.
Again, I'll convene a public hearing. Those wishing to speak for or against R-2583, please come to the microphone. Seeing none, I'll adjourn the public hearing, please.
Move for adoption.
Second.
Second.
Motion second.
On the motion, Ross?
Yes.
Hamilton?
Yes.
Hart?
Yes.
Robinson?
Yes.
Baxter?
Yes.
Harris?
Yes.
Fowler?
Yes.
Insulaco?
Yes.
O-2528, Mayor Hartwick,
Please.
an ordinance authorizing the mayor and city clerk to enter into an MISO Energy Management Services Agreement with Tenaska Power Services Company for portfolio management services for the North Little Rock Electric Department, providing a rate covenant, declaring an emergency. First reading.
Move to suspend the readings.
Second.
On the motion, Ross?
Yes.
Hamilton?
Yes.
Hart?
Yes.
Robinson?
Yes.
Baxter?
Yes.
Harris?
Yes.
Fowler?
Yes.
Insulaco?
Yes.
Move for adoption.
Second.
On the motion, Ross?
Yes.
Hamilton?
Yes.
Hart?
Yes.
Robinson?
Yes.
Baxter?
Yes.
Harris?
Yes.
Fowler?
Yes.
Insulaco?
Yes.
On the emergency, Ross?
Yes.
Hamilton?
Yes.
Hart?
Yes.
Robinson?
Yes.
Baxter?
Yes.
Harris?
Yes.
Fowler?
Yes.
Insulaco?
Yes.
R 2520.
Oh.
O 2529. Councilmember Harris.
Thank you.
Please call it.
An ordinance waiving section 9.11 of the subdivision ordinance, ordinance number 7946 for certain real property located at 7323 Cock of the Walk Lane in the city of North Little Rock, Arkansas, to waive half-street requirements, declaring an emergency. First reading.
Move to suspend all readings.
Second.
On the motion, Ross?
Yes.
Hamilton?
Yes.
Hart?
Yes.
Robinson?
Yes.
Baxter?
Yes.
Harris?
Yes.
Fowler?
Yes.
Insulaco?
Yes. Motion to adopt.
Second.
On the motion, Ross?
Yes.
Hamilton?
Yes.
Hart?
Yes.
Robinson?
Yes.
Baxter?
Yes.
Harris?
Yes.
Fowler?
Yes.
Insulaco?
Yes.
On the emergency, Ross?
Yes.
Hamilton?
Yes.
Hart?
Yes.
Robinson?
Yes.
Baxter?
Yes.
Harris?
Yes.
Fowler?
Yes.
Insulaco?
Yes.
O 2530, Councilmember Robinson.
Please call it.
An ordinance approving a fee in lieu of planting trees for certain real property located at 5500 Chiquito Road in the city of North Little Rock, Arkansas, declaring an emergency. First reading.
Move to suspend all readings.
Second.
On the motion, Ross?
Yes.
Hamilton?
Yes.
Hart?
Yes.
Robinson?
Yes.
Baxter?
Yes.
Harris?
Yes.
Fowler?
Yes.
Insulaco?
Yes.
Motion to adopt.
Second.
On the motion to adopt, Ross?
Yes.
Hamilton?
Yes.
Hart?
Yes.
Robinson?
Yes.
Baxter?
Yes.
Harris?
Yes.
Fowler?
Yes.
Insulaco?
Yes.
On the emergency, Ross?
Yes.
Hamilton?
Yes.
Hart?
Yes.
Robinson?
Yes.
Baxter?
Yes.
Harris?
Yes.
Fowler?
Yes.
Insulaco?
Yes.
O 2531, Councilmember Insulaco.
Please call it.
An ordinance granting a special use to allow a type 2 short-term rental in an R1 zone for certain real property located at 27 Coronado Circle in the city of North Little Rock, Arkansas, declaring an emergency. First reading.
Please move to suspend the readings.
Second.
Motion to suspend, there's a second. Hang on just a sec for me if you don't mind. Let's get the rules suspended. Give me just a sec, okay? Okay. All right, there's a motion to suspend and there's
On the
a
motion
second.
to suspend the readings, Ross?
Yes.
Hamilton?
Yes.
Hart?
Yes.
Robinson?
Yes.
Baxter?
Yes.
Harris?
Yes.
Fowler?
Yes.
Insulaco?
Yes.
You want to
Yes,
put it
sir.
on the floor?
Ms. Ross first, okay? Ms. Ross?
I just wanted to, somebody explain how we got to this point when, type 2 are not allowed in an R1 or R2 zone in the city. I went back and I saw that this was approved in December 2023, and when we did the
1,500 feet?
the legislation in April 23, we gave everybody a long time, and I know the clerk's office just went overboard sending out letters. So I'm just curious why this is just now coming to us
Are you Mr. Bass?
Yes.
over a year later.
I think the questions are there, looked at you on this, so identify yourself and please answer the question if you don't.
Right. I'm Patrick Bass. I'm the owner of Arkansas Owner Finance. We own the property, and we've started the process, and we've just extended it. I don't have a reason. Yeah, I don't have any reason for that
Gotcha.
it's
So I have a question.
taken so long.
Ms. Ross?
So you haven't been paying any business license, have you been paying any A&P taxes, the A&P taxes, or, I'm just curious, so there's
We
been
pay-
no, it's just been.
We
no-
pay, we pay our business license and property taxes. I am behind
Do
this
y'all-
year.
Okay, wait, do they have a business license for this?
Not a current one.
Oh,
No.
okay, so they had a previous before.
And we talked, and we said we were going to fix that at this hearing, or while I'm here.
Okay, so I'm confused, so they had one before,
Yes.
correct?
Yes,
The
that's correct.
legislation, and then they just never did come in, and I'm confused.
I'm sorry, they had a period, what, the legislation?
Uh-huh.
There was
Before-
no previous legislation. There was previous business license.
Oh, they had the, like, the
Prior
30,
to the STR legislation.
oh, they had the $35 fee, that's correct, that's all it was, until the okay.
It had been delinquent prior to the STR legislation, so they did not have a business license.
So and then they didn't come in after going to planning?
Correct. There has not been a business license on this account for several years, according to our records.
Oh, even before the short-term rental?
Correct.
Correct.
Do you understand, Mr. Bass, what's going on?
Yeah, they're
Do-
saying I don't have a business.
You don't have a
license.
business license.
Right.
And you didn't have one before, does he? And the clear question now, is he got one now on any of this property?
No,
No,
sir.
you do not.
When we talked on the phone the other day, I'm not sure who I talked with, but we said we would settle up here.
I think you gotta do
Okay.
it before, if I was you. But that's my opinion, so,
I just-
go ahead, Ms. Ross.
So did you not get the letters? And because I know they sent out, I don't know how many letters they sent out, because
Right.
kept giving extra months to make sure that everybody had a chance to come, even had a meeting.
That's
here, I
correct. And
believe.
I did go through city planning.
Right.
I don't have an excuse. I just kept putting this part off.
Any more questions? Where are we right now? So you'll know, we've suspended the rules. We're looking at trying to get this passed or put it on hold. Ms. Ross is asking questions. Mr. Baxter, is that you?
So my question is from when you were approved of planning until now, have you listed this property as being available?
Yes, sir.
And
I do have it, and I have a guest there. Most of our guests are there from several months at a time, so it's not necessarily a short-term rental, it's more of a midterm. But it is.
Okay, all right. But, so if I'm understanding this correctly, and help me, the clerk's office here, in that time, we've not collected any A&P taxes, nothing of that?
A&P may be collected from Airbnb directly to A&P in
Okay.
a lump check, but we don't have any record of who they're paying for. But as far as business licensing, no, we've not collected any.
We haven't collected that either?
Correct.
During the time that he's actually
Correct.
operating?
Is it possible, like, is there something, and I don't know if this is possible, for there to be the amount of time that it operated, then paying the back amount? Like, if they operated for 3 or 4 years, then paying the total amount of what a business license would have cost for 3 or 4 years, that they were operating the business outside of that. Is that doable?
Yes, they can go back 3 plus the current year, 3 years plus the current year.
Would that have to be in the ordinance in order for us, or in this?
It is in the business license ordinance currently.
It's currently, it says a reasonable amount of time, so it's 3 years plus the current year that we will collect on if a business has been delinquent that long in our records.
Ms. Ross?
So this one is over 3 years, correct?
Correct.
So are there penalties also added on to that?
The penalties would be applicable, but we typically work with applicants when they come in.
Set up a payment plan?
I got
We-
the- I got the
We
floor. I got the
can
floor.
initiate a payment plan with businesses.
So on the penalty, so then they could, up to 3 years, you could go back, collect on business license, and that would be A&P taxes, A&P license.
A&P would be separate from us.
Okay.
However, it is possible that Airbnb, the company, if it's listed through there, was paying them on his behalf.
Right.
So we can't speak for that on that portion, but as far as business license goes, penalties would be applicable. They'd be 50%. After July each year, penalties go to 50%. Currently, 2025 is only at 25%, but the previous years would be 50%.
Okay, so
currently.
those will be collected.
Right.
Now, do they have to have the A&P permit when they come in to apply for the city, or does that after?
No, we typically issue the business license first, and then they apply for the AMP.
Okay.
Ms. Hart?
Mr. Bass, I want to ask you, do you understand why we're challenging approving this? Because you've been delinquent, because you haven't shown good business practices, and you're asking to then continue to operate a business. And then every time we ask you a question, I'm trying to make sure I understand that you understand, because you just keep saying, yeah, I don't really have nothing to say. Do you have something to say that might sway us or have us think differently about your responsibility with doing business in the city, and then anything related to the delinquencies that you have relative to the business that you've been profiting off of for a number of years?
So in past years, we've had it under management. And so I probably still should have operated as a business, came in and got a business license for it, even though it was with a manager. And we took over management about a year ago. I should have gotten a business license at the beginning of the year. I haven't. I will in the future. I will set an alarm on my phone for January 1st to come in, get my business license, and keep moving forward.
So I will
I'm
say
not
for
sure what
me,
the A&P taxes are, though.
so I will say for me, I want to make sure that you understand, if I vote no on this, it's because, like, I'm not seeing anything that shows credibility in you continuing to do business in North Little Rock in a positive manner. Because, one, your disposition is kind of like, I'm sorry, but I'm not sorry. But then secondarily, there's no accountability to the things that were required that you hadn't done. That is, I want to say, that makes me feel comfortable saying that, okay, you're somebody that I would want to profit in North Little Rock as a business owner in this particular field, because we want businesses, we want things to happen in our city, but we also want people to do it respectfully of our laws and do it respectfully of the things that we try to do in order to operate our city. And I'm not seeing that.
Ma'am, I was born here, raised here. I currently live in Maumelle. I'm always doing business here. And I hope to do business here.
Okay.
So, I mean, I don't know. Now, I apologize for my demeanor. I smile when I'm nervous. I don't mean to be.
I'm not telling you about smiling, but I'm saying
Mr. Insulaco.
Why don't we hold this and we'll
Okay.
talk and see what changes need to be made. There's a lot of questions here, and we'll just hold it and we'll talk.
Do you understand if we were going to hold it, he'll bring it up at the next council meeting?
Okay,
You okay with that,
I am.
Mr. Insulaco?
Now, I have a current tenant there, and they're there until October.
You better do something by May 12th.
Yeah,
Ms. Ross, let me come back to you.
It's not a
And I
short
mean,
term,
I'm just trying to be
I know,
honest.
we're
want
gonna
to
get,
I just want to say, it's not a short-term rental if it's over 30 days.
exactly.
So
Right,
I
and
don't
most
understand,
of my tenants are not 30, they're over 30 days.
but you do have some in between.
We do have some in between, yes. And I'm happy to change that and change it to above 30 days.
If you did about 30 days, then it would just be a rental. It would not.
I gotta go Ms. Hart for next and come back to you, Vince. Okay, Ms. Hart?
Are there what can you commit to doing relative to the things that you're delinquent on
I'm perfectly
before the next
happy.
meeting?
I'm perfectly happy with paying the back business that I owe. And I'll get with Vincent or whoever I need to figure out what I need to do to keep business moving forward.
Mr. Insulaco?
So the main purpose is this because you're not planning on a short term, but just in case you have one, correct?
Correct, yes.
Okay.
Gotcha. So right now, he's holding it, so anybody, any more questions? I'm gonna let it go since he's holding. You understand, Mr. Bass, we're holding it?
Yes.
Got, get back with Mr. Insulaco, okay? Thank
Okay.
you. It's being held. Thank you.
O 2532, Councilmember Hart.
Call it.
An ordinance rezoning certain real property located on West 7th Street in the city of North Little Rock, Arkansas, from R4 to C6 zoning classification by amending ordinance number 9263, declaring an emergency. First reading.
Move to suspend.
Motion to
Read it.
suspend the reading.
Second.
Motion second.
On the motion to suspend the readings, Ross,
Yes.
Hamilton,
Yes.
Hart,
Yes.
Robinson,
Yes.
Baxter,
Yes.
Harris,
Yes.
Fowler,
Yes.
Insulaco.
Yes.
Motion to adopt.
Second.
Thank you.
Ms. Ross?
No, I just have a question because it's fourplexes on 5 different lots, so that's 20 housing units. So do they have the parking for this? Is that why they're going to a C6, so that there's
Sean,
no
you here?
requirement on parking?
There he is. Come on, Sean.
You know, sometimes if there's not a parking, they'll do a C6.
They're going to the C6 to get the density, but the parking each lot will have enough parking
Okay,
for
that's all I know.
for the quadplex.
Okay, thanks.
But the C6 is purely density.
Okay, I just didn't know if it was going for street parking. Okay.
Anything else?
Sorry, they were going to C6 to get what?
They're going to C6. Go ahead, Mr.
To get the
The density.
fourplex
Density?
density, yes.
Okay.
sorry.
Gotcha. You're fine. So there's a motion and a
There was.
second, I think, to right, is that?
Had a motion on the,
Second.
Did I hear a second?
And
I
then Ms.
thought-
Robinson,
I think Ms. Robinson second, so go ahead.
on the motion to adopt Ross?
Yes.
Hamilton?
No.
Hart?
yes.
Robinson?
Yes.
Baxter?
Yes.
Harris?
Yes.
Fowler?
Yes.
Insulaco?
Yes.
Excuse me, I'd like to make a motion. That was a mistake. I misspoke. I meant to say yes. Am I allowed
Expunge
to
that
just go
vote and
back?
call it again, please. Let's ask for an expungement of the vote, please.
Well,
Move to expunge the vote.
it passed, so I'm
It's
fine with it
easier.
being no.
It's
I'm
easier.
okay. It's just that
We can note the record.
you can just note for the record
All right,
that I
gotcha.
made a mistake.
Leave it alone.
Thank you.
It passes, then, thank you.
On the emergency, Ross?
Yes.
Hamilton?
Yes.
Hart?
Yes.
Robinson?
Yes.
Baxter?
Yes.
Harris?
Yes.
Fowler?
Yes.
Insulaco?
Yes.
Thank you.
O 2533.
Please call it.
Councilmember Ross?
Please call it.
An ordinance rezoning certain real property located at 1406 North Magnolia Street in the city of North Little Rock, Arkansas, from C3 to R3 zoning classification by amending ordinance number 9263, declaring an emergency. First reading.
Move to suspend all readings.
Second.
Second.
On the motion to suspend the readings, Ross?
Yes.
Hamilton?
Yes.
Hart?
Yes.
Robinson?
Yes.
Baxter?
Yes.
Harris?
Yes.
Fowler?
Yes.
Insulaco?
Yes.
I want to say something.
Ross?
This is another one of these, that same area that we're constantly they have to come in because the city, who knows why, zoned this as a C when it should have been residential all along. It's just, to build a house, to get a loan, anything, it's got to be zoned correctly.
Understand.
Okay.
So where are we?
A motion to
Second.
adopt.
Motion second.
Second.
On the motion, Ross?
Yes.
Hamilton?
Yes.
Hart?
Yes.
Robinson?
Yes.
Baxter?
Yes.
Harris?
Yes.
Fowler?
Yes.
Insulaco?
Yes.
On the emergency, Ross?
Yes.
Hamilton?
Yes.
Hart?
Yes.
Robinson?
Yes.
Baxter?
Yes.
Harris?
Yes.
Fowler?
Yes.
Insulaco?
Yes.
I believe that's all. Going to public comment. I have Miss Jennifer Phillips, 1011 Northeast Street. You have 3 minutes, Miss Phillips. Where are you? Oh, there you are. Yes, ma'am.
Good evening.
Good evening.
My name is Jennifer Phillips, and I am back again in reference to our community in Dixie. When I was here last, I believe I was misunderstood about the fact that in reference to a pump versus cleaning up our ditch. And so when I say I was misunderstood, because nothing has been done. Sure, we've had the flood, a lot of people got flooded out. I understand it was unpresidential and all of this stuff. But Dixie mainly is being flooded out a lot too because of the care of our community. I like to pass these pictures around. I don't have technology today, but that works too. But what I want to show on there is the trash buildup as the water was coming into the community. And the trash, as the water was coming into that ditch. So the trash all migrated to this one place. I think it'd be a nice place for a pump whenever the city can afford to help us. But right now, I don't see why the city can't drag that ditch from all of the debris that is in the bottom of the ditch. And you can see it. It stopped. I can't say it stopped the flow of the water because water gonna move. Water is gonna move, but it moved very slow because once it got to the bottom of that hole there, the trash overpowered it a lot. And then the trees are back now because we're back into the summer months, spring and summer months. So it ain't like you all can go in, you could. I was looking at how they was doing this convention center over here. The big cranes that they have can get down in that ditch, put something on the end of it, drag that ditch. And then that's not the only thing, because I understand it takes money for that. And I understand that you all think that we are a community that's really not paying into the city because of our housing and low-income people and everything, but you can't leave a people to rot. And I just feel like that's what you all are doing. Dixie community, we need ditch cleaning out. That don't hardly cost much money. I don't know what it costs, but it can't be that much. The street need resurfacing that the city came out and did. They dug up on this street, is D Street. And they didn't build it back up till it surfaced. So when that water sits in there, it was a river in that one spot. And there's a picture there showing that. And then we got the drainage, all the stuff that went into those drains that's out there in our community from the flood. No one has come out there and tried to clean our drains out. The city put those in there for our benefit, but they're not being kept. Also, the grass cutting along the ditch, you know, you all be on us about getting our yards and stuff cut, and you put these they used to put little red signs or red arrows or red flags or yellow flags indicating the fact that if you don't cut it, the city will cut it for you and charge you $180 or whatever the amount is, you know, and you all sent me a letter, and I know we cut our property, but it was right after that flood. Water hadn't really surfaced down into the ground like it could. Your lawnmowers will go out there and get stuck.
You've got one more minute, ma'am, please.
I'm done.
All right, thank you.
I just want somebody to try to not just hear me, but answer me. So I can leave you out to that minute or whatever I got left.
Thank you.
And somebody can say something. You had a guy that was here the last time, came up and gave that big old price about how much it costs to get a pump.
You want to come back or you want to keep talking? Whichever. I know, I mean, I'm sorry, but that's the way it is. I have a Catherine Mooney, 6212 Iroquois Drive. Thank you. Identify yourself, please, ma'am. And again, you got around 3 minutes, okay?
Hello, my name's Catherine Mooney. Greetings to the esteemed council members and the mayor. Hartwick, thank you for hearing me this evening. My name is Catherine Mooney. I've lived in Indian Hills for 1 year. I'm a registered nurse in the state of Arkansas. I work with the veterans community. I became aware about a year ago through a doctor that I work with that there's a lot of research being done about food insecurity, and that was something that I began to look into in my graduate program. And 19% of Arkansans suffer from food insecurity. It's very surprising, isn't it? 1 in 4 children will die of starvation in the Mississippi Delta this year. So I really am a champion for food sovereignty, because that's one way we can end hunger in the South, is to teach people to be able to get control of their food. One way we can do that is to allow backyard chickens. I know in the city of Little Rock, their ordinance states that the coop can be 5 feet from the home. I think that's a little bit close, but I do find that 75 feet puts a lot of limitations on people that could benefit from being able to have control of their food source. I did look at the webpage and all the ordinances and laws that have been put in place, and I think those are great about cleaning it out and making sure that it's tidy and having a permit and having it orderly, and maybe even having to have the coop approved or the amount of chickens that you have. And so I'm appealing to the council members to revisit this matter and consider making a motion to allow maybe 30 feet from the structure, 25 to 30 feet, so that it would allow people that need to be able to take sovereignty over their food to have backyard chickens. My family has been in the United States for a long time. We rented to George Washington during the war that won us independence from England. My father is Native American, and he was born in Oklahoma City, Oklahoma. So I'm American through and through. I grew up in Arkansas, and I want to see things change in the Mississippi Delta for Arkansans. So,
Right. Thank you very, very much. I
Thank you.
appreciate it. Anybody else up here? Yes, sir, Mr. Hemp.
Ma'am, if you'd like the council to revisit the issue,
yes, ma'am.
I would suggest finding a council member to sponsor some legislation making changes to it, and a discussion could be had at that time.
Yes.
So there's no, like, we can't just say, I would like to change it from 75 to 50 or 25.
Yes.
We have to present legislation from the city attorney's office to put on the agenda, and so you would have a council member sponsor such legislation. So I would guess maybe a public discussion on Facebook or however you want to have that would maybe be a good place to start. But then to actually get something before the council, I would find a sponsor
Yes. I was kind of curious where they came up with the number 75 because I don't find that anywhere else that I research, and I'm a researcher.
No clue.
Exactly. I don't
have
have
that-
anything.
Well, I'm not saying there isn't an answer.
Yeah.
Oh, we've got some smart people working down in animal control, but
Yes.
I'm just saying I have no idea what that is.
Yes.
Okay. Ms. Rawson, then I'll come to Ms. Robinson. then I'll
No,
come
I
back to Ms.
just want to say that we looked at, hasn't it that long ago at 40 feet, and it was, there was not enough interest in changing it to 40 feet. So I don't know. How long ago was that? That was
just last year.
Last year, just
Yeah.
last year.
It was
so
early, it was
the
late
40
last
feet.
year, we was trying to move it for a lady.
Right.
I think most of the homes in my area don't even have that. I think that they might be able to do 30. So it excludes a lot of people to make it that much, but I wish we could continue the conversation.
I think Mr. Hamilton said it right. You live in Ward 4, is that correct?
I live in Indian Hills, Ward 4. Yes,
That's
sir.
Ward 4, so here's your 2 Ward 4 aldermen. As Mr. Hamilton says, you could get them to sponsor or talk to them
Yes.
about, they'll bring it to the council, okay?
Yes, sir.
He
Thank-
said it's done. Ms. Robinson and then Ms. Hart. Thank you very much.
Ms. Whitby left
You're
the
good.
ordinance for, in lieu of, for trees and, in lieu of fees for trees and in lieu of fees for sidewalks. And she left the ordinance here on our desk, and I ask when you all get a chance to read over it.
Okay. Ms. Hart,
Um,
come back up, please. I'm sorry.
Was that in the surrounding community, you said you live in the Indian Hills community?
Yes,
Was
ma'am.
there a consensus, or was there a faction of people that wanted to see that change? Or was it more through your research and understanding of a better approach?
Through research.
Through research,
And these
okay.
are current statistics off of the CDC and the USDA, and I can email that paper out to all of you. It's not published, but it's scholarly.
I would recommend to you to also look into having a conversation in the community to see if residents, because there are some people that feel very particular about what types of things they want to see in their community, irregardless of the food insecurity piece or food
sovereignty.
So I definitely encourage you to have a conversation too, to also make sure that there's a consensus about the best approach, the best way to handle in your community or others in our city, handling that particular issue that way.
Thank you.
Thank
Anybody
you.
else?
One last thing.
Okay.
Just with regards to Dixie, Mayor or Councilmember Linda, or is anybody going to reach out to Patrick and at least?
We have.
We already, they already have?
We've already
Okay.
talked.
I just didn't know if city engineering, I'm just curious. Okay, thank you.
Just saying that you and I talked about this and I reached out to them. And there are different, within the city, there are a list of folks that they are working on following up from the flood. And Dixie is a part of that list. Now, when that's going to happen, I have to follow up to get a timeline. And that's what I made a note for myself, to check in to see a timeline of when that could be clean.
Mr. Hamilton?
I'd just like to briefly place into the record my reasoning for bringing the resolution tonight. And I didn't get a chance to speak on it, but I just wanted to put it in the record that our Hispanic-speaking neighbors here in North Little Rock make up about 14% of our population. I reviewed the minutes from the past year, last year. We had 24 meetings, and at 9 of them, a Spanish speaker was up at the podium, our podium here, and was unable to understand and needed translation. That's more than a third of our meetings, and that doesn't include those who stayed away because they couldn't receive translation, and they knew they wouldn't be involved in the process. I wasn't proposing interpretation for Chinese or French or anything, just the one that we have mainly, the second most heard language here in our city council chamber. For people that we were making discussions on about, or having discussions about regulating their homes and their businesses. Providing in-person Spanish interpretation during public comment and Spanish language closed captioning on our live stream It's a simple, affordable step. The technology exists. The estimated cost would be $10,000 a year or less, far less than what we spend on other communications, such as $75,000 for the North Little Rock Proud magazine, which I love, and $20,000 for advertising for the mayor's office, which is necessary, or even other features like the decorative lighting logo in the hall that we have, which I like. I've enjoyed that. But I do wonder why no one sees the language access as equally important. When I was working in communications here, I loved it when Councilmember Ross would rightly point out that not everyone is on Facebook, not everyone reads the magazine, not everyone watches our meetings on TV. I would add tonight that not everyone speaks English. I also want to respectfully state that asking an existing bilingual employee to volunteer for this duty without additional pay, training, or backup is not respectful. Being bilingual is a valuable professional skill. We, or at least I, would never ask a police officer out of the goodness of their heart to work a shift up here just because we requested it, even though they would. We can afford to compensate for this service. We're simply choosing not to. Our employees deserve better and our residents deserve better. Choosing not to move forward tonight sent a message, intended or not, to a significant part of our community. Even if this wasn't the moment, I do believe North Little Rock will eventually take this step. And when we do, I think we'll be stronger and more inclusive because of it. I thank the council for their time.
Thank you. Anybody else? I've got something that's very important. We have a lady who's been working for us 51 years. Her retirement party is tomorrow at the Hay Center. I'd like for all y'all to attend. Our Miss Charlotte Thomas has been working for us for 51 years. Her retirement tomorrow is at the Hay Center. So I want to let everybody know that. Anybody else? Thank you.
The motion.
Second.
Second.
On the motion, Ross?
Yes.
Hamilton?
Yes.
Hart? Yes. Robinson? Yes. Baxter?
Yes.
Harris?
Yes.
Fowler? Insulaco?
Yes.
The meeting.
Meeting is adjourned.